Hello, Sarah Sabin here, transformational leadership and business coach. And I am really excited to be here today with Coach Eric from Ideal Career Coach, who is an absolutely fantastic career coach that gets his clients amazing results. Eric, thank you for being here. And would you mind introducing yourself in a couple of sentences?
Yeah, lovely. Thank you, Sarah, for having me. And yeah, so I'm Coach Eric from Ideal Career Coach. I specialize in helping people find meaningful, high-paying jobs that get them satisfaction in the workplace. I've always loved helping people that want my help, as well as focusing on people's careers.
Thank you for sharing. So tell me, why did you feel a few months ago that you wanted to work with a coach?
Uh, I felt like my business was doing well, but I knew that there were some specific issues within it. I knew there were things I didn't like doing within the business, and I needed a little bit of guidance as well as some perspective on how business was operating. Additionally, I'm sort of a shoot from the hips and work really fast and execute kind of person. I needed somebody to kind of help me slow down and take a look up everything that was around me. And I kind of spread myself a little thin in a couple of areas too. And I really needed somebody to focus on me, to spend a little bit of time, to give that feedback. Because I understand as a coach myself, that how important that is to have somebody that you can bounce ideas off of, as well as give you guidance, and just somebody that's actually seen somebody else succeed before. That's an invaluable investment.
Oh, I 100% agree that coaches need coaches, therapists need therapists. We could all do with a little bit of help and our own board of advisors, as one of my former clients once said. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. Could you tell me a little bit about what you loved most about working with me and the group?
I loved Sarah's dedication. So I'm of the similar sort of personality where I really am strongly motivated by outcome results and very like high touch. I've just as sort of transparency, I've hired other coaches before. I've worked in different areas. But there was something very unique about the dedication that Sarah has for her clients that's unmatched. There's also a general warmth and just somebody who's going to give you the straight stuff, where you're falling off and what you're doing well. I think a lot of coaches just are not as dedicated and organized too as Sarah. Like I forget things all the time. Like I'm sort of a mad scientist when it comes to my business. There's sort of an organized chaos, and it does work out, and then it's continuing to work out. But having somebody that's more structured and dedicated, who's sort of that voice operating in the background of like knowing what's going to work, Sarah is exactly that person, and I love that interaction. And she really is extremely dedicated to seeing that you succeed.
Oh, thank you so much for that feedback. Warms the cockles of my heart. No, I think you pick up on a really important word, which is outcome. As coaches, I believe we are here to get our clients results, obviously with their commitment and buy into the process, because it's a partnership. Okay, so tell me a little bit more about some of the tangible results that you got in your business in the 90 days that you've been working with me.
I can't believe it's been 90 days. And we've accomplished so much. Even in midst of, a little bit of change in my life, like Sarah was sort of this constant, which was just a gift to me. I accomplished a lot. First was just sort of I was doing parts of my business that I wasn't happy with. And I was sort of holding on to it for some time, and it really wasn't serving me. It wasn't generating that much revenue. And Sarah really helped me sort of cut that piece of my business away and really focus on the high value stuff, which started really driving in great revenue. So that was just a huge thing of just saying like, no, I'm not doing this. And that's where a coach really comes in. I mean, I do that for my clients too, but it's different when you're in the driver's seat. It's so much different. And that might resonate with you right now about something you're not doing. There are people that can help you get over it. And that's what coaches are there for, to kind of build that framework and that guidance to make sure you do it. So that was just a huge piece. And it's really given me a lot of ownership and pride as well, that I'm not doing this stuff that's low value anymore. The second thing, obviously, is results. Like, I mean, I definitely smashed my goal for monthly revenue. And I believe I'm definitely way over like 4x of where I was before. So that's huge. And it still is trickling in, and stuff is still happening as far as like generating revenue and like in building a consistent. The third thing she actually helped me do is really price and figure out some great pricing for my program. And that was huge too, of like being more confident at delivering a higher ticket, and giving you perspective on that as well. Because it's not easy when you've been charging something for so long and you're kind of comfortable with that delivery, and you start asking more, being okay with people turning you away too. So that was really awesome. I mean, some more stuff that comes to my mind is like getting me more focused on what are the activities that are going to lead to better results, like creating content, creating some sort of outreach system, thinking bigger about how you can drive more revenue and focusing your time on that. Another thing that she helped me do is really get into like time management on my calendar, and like actually putting it on my calendar and again, if you're an entrepreneur out there or a coach or whatever, I know there's like a million like time management like tools out there, but like somebody who can actually like physically help you figure it out is going to be huge too. There's a ton of other stuff too, but that just kind of comes to mind for me right now.
Thank you for sharing that. I think I'll boil that down even further. Putting structure and method to the madness, or the mad scientist. The other thing is consistent systems that you can apply to generate cash. And the third thing is cash, which is obviously really important. And I think you did really well. I think in your first 5 weeks, you generated about 13K in your first 5 weeks.
Yeah, easily.
And essentially, that was, for context for anyone listening, with moving between Chicago, California, big life changes going on. So even with all of that, you've done amazingly well.
Yeah, and it is about having somebody there that's your coach, who's kind of more or less taskmaster, figuring this stuff out for you. And there's also that psychological investment of you like investing in this program. For me, if you're listening right now, like just take the leap and make that investment, because you're going to get the ROI, because you're going to be driven to get that ROI too, because you've made that investment. And Sarah's the perfect person to be there with you and to guide you and make sure you succeed.
Thank you. What about intangible results? So that's kind of things like mindset shifts, calmness, satisfaction, etc. What's going on there?
Yeah, I think I alluded to that with how I psychologically got over, lower ticket items that weren't serving me. So there is a little bit of confidence that like, yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. And, this is just not worth my time, but there's other people I can refer you to for it. So that kind of drives a little bit more ownership, that I'm not like this lower ticket person who's sort of spinning their wheels in there. That kind of makes you feel really good. I also think, having vision for yourself and what that means is a huge piece as well. And diving deep into that vision and trying to build that, because we are our thoughts. And if you can direct them towards where you want to go, and Sarah's been really good at sort of planting that seed about, are these things good for you? Are they not? How is it kind of weaving into the vision for yourself? So those are some intangibles as well. Also, just having that comfort that somebody else is kind of out there looking out for you is a really good peace of mind as well, that, has some answers. I mean, we all need some answers once in a while for a business. And so that was great. And just like future forward, that, things can be good. Think you can create more. So those are some pretty valuable results that I got from an intangible perspective, I would say.
Okay, thank you. So lots of good information there for anyone listening. I would like to just ask you now, is there anything further that you haven't said that you would like to say to anyone watching this video?
Anyone watching this video right now, I think it's really important that you connect with your coach. And I think it's important that you have really open dialogue with them and you feel that they have your best interests in mind. And with Sarah, you can genuinely get that. You can genuinely feel like somebody, because I've looked, and you're probably out there too, like surveying different coaches and price shopping or whatever, but like don't look at it from that perspective. Look at it from what I mentioned before, is does this person have your best interest in mind, and will they be driven to giving you results? Because that's what's going to drive you too. It's not going to be like, oh, I found the cheapest coach out there, or they're just like saying like, I'm gonna, we all get those emails about like, I can 20x your revenue and 100 million results. Like, is that realistic? Like, it's more important about that connection that you have with that coach, because that's going to really give you the results at the end of the day. Are you speaking the same language? Does your mind work the same too? Do you genuinely get along with this person, or are they like some kind of, do they actually give you time as well? Like Sarah's very generous. That's the other thing. Like, I'm very generous too, and Sarah's very generous, so we work very well together. Like, are they a generous person? Are they just like, nope, you can't contact me, and these are our allotted hours? Like, look for those things, because you're going to resonate very well with that person, because you want them to succeed too. And I think you're going to take on the ownership so that Sarah succeeds and she does well. So look for those things versus just like price shopping or some like crazy ROI that they're looking to promise you.
I love that. I will boil it down to, I do this a lot. I will boil it down to chemistry. Chemistry is super important with any coach you work with. So essentially, if it was as simple as applying a system that a particular coach suggested to you, then everyone would be a millionaire or multi-millionaire or whatever. But it's also about trusting and committing and chemistry, especially with the coach that you choose to work with. So,
and one last thing, Sarah, don't think also that coaching is going to be the panacea. Like, you have to do the work too, and you have to be ready to like invest your time and to, scrape your mind about what you need to do and test your limits and feel uncomfortable as well. So, but the thing is, you can do all that if you have the right person there for you, and you have the right chemistry, as I said. So like, you've got to be ready too. That's what I would say as well. You've got to be, ready to take on that responsibility, and don't think it's just going to be a panacea to all your woes or worries, because you've got to show up too.
Yeah, 100%. It's a partnership, and those were wise words from, now I'm going to call you the career wizard.
I need a staff or a hat or something, right? I mean,
yeah, no, I think a staff would suit you. So thank you, Eric, for being with me here today. Always a pleasure to talk.
Thank you, Sarah. Absolutely.
And for anyone listening to this, if this has piqued your interest, then feel free to email me or send me a direct message. Bye for now.